All right, we are live.
Roger. Okay.
Still setting up the meeting on my side, but we should be live.
Yeah, I didn't get the notification yet, but we'll get it there.
Okay, let's just wait for a couple people to come in the room. Pierre,
Mm-hmm.
how you doing? Pierre Jean Jouve.
And do you have a link you could drop in there? I haven't seen
Oh
the
yeah,
notification
I
yet. So if I'm not seeing the notification,
let me drop the link in Zoom. Where's
okay,
the chat? Let me see what the chat is. Oh, here's the chat.
it's just
Okay,
taking a little while for it to propagate.
okay, and I'm gonna drop this in Telegram quickly in
Okay.
the Cardano Effect Telegram.
Okay. And I'll move it over to some other ones too.
Okay,
Grab it from the Cardano effect. Oh, there's a Sebastian video there too. Yay. Copy link. Okay.
okay.
All right.
So there's like 5 people watching. I'm sure people are probably on work. It's 4 o'clock right now, so I mean I don't know how many people are gonna join,
Oh,
but
that's a
I
nice
just
thumb.
dropped the. What happened?
That's a nice thumbnail. I look angry.
Oh really? Oh I'll I'll swap that thumbnail. I'll
Don't
swap
worry.
that thumbnail. Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Okay.
Thanks, Pierre. We have some issues that we're gonna talk about right now.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the problems that are on the testnet, both the Daedalus wallet and Jormungandr, both,
Yeah.
because one affects the other.
Yes.
And get your questions, but we want to make sure
Yeah.
people know they are not alone. You're not the only one seeing a problem. It's not your laptop. It's not your internet connection. It's Daedalus. Okay,
Yeah.
and it's the network. So
Yes.
you don't have to go out and buy a new computer because Daedalus doesn't connect to the network. You don't need a new computer.
No, you don't need a new
Don't
computer.
do that.
Don't need a new computer.
Um,
So, Rick, I guess we can just start. People will flow in
yeah.
as we're talking.
Well, it's still mid afternoon on the West Coast, and it's
Yeah,
late in the evening in Europe, so everybody's in a bar.
yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right.
Okay. And there's always a replay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So you ready, buddy?
Yeah. So Rick and I are gonna do a quick live stream right now. We just want to talk about some of the issues with Daedalus and with stake pools right now. Um, like I was saying before, stake pool operators and delegators are gonna have to be flexible. There are some quite a few issues, and some stake pools are having more issues than other stake pools. It's not necessarily the stake pool's fault. Uh, there are issues with the underlying code that need to be fixed. There are bugs that need to be fixed. Rick is going to go more in depth in Daedalus, and then we're going to talk a little bit about stake pool operators, what you should expect, and how much time you should give stake pool operators before this network becomes a little bit more stable. Rick, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Roger that. Thanks, Philippe. Hey, thanks for having me on your channel here. I really appreciate it. That way we can let people know what's going on, and they can watch the replay later on. But we just had Philippe and I had many people direct messaging us in the last day. First, we're going to talk about Daedalus. People's Daedaluses don't always start. If they don't start or connect to the network, that's okay. Just let it sit. Maybe 10 minutes later, maybe 20 minutes later, it will connect. Then may connect consistently. But it's connecting to a network of decentralized nodes. So it's kind of looking around, trying to find who to talk to. And sometimes the blockchain is stalling. So you got to look at you have Daedalus and you have Jormungandr that's running this global network, and your Daedalus has to connect to it. Other people are seeing problems where the percent is counting backwards. It is still a connection problem. It's just not connecting. You may be able to let it sit and let it reconnect, or you can click on the menu and select the diagnostics and then restart the node, and maybe it will connect. But excuse me, if you're experiencing problems, you're not alone. Try any of the techniques you're already familiar with previous versions of Daedalus, with closing it and reopening it, or letting it sit. There's many different things that you can do to allow it to go ahead and connect. It's not, these problems will get worked through. So the most important message that I have is hang in there. It'll get worked out. It's going to take some time. This is the first iteration of the testnet where the users' Daedalus wallets are connecting to the testnet. Okay, so two major changes occurred in the last week. One is we went to 0.8.2 version and launched that out, and a lot more people showed up. We got more staking nodes online, and then the Daedalus wallets connected to those nodes. So there's going to be bugs. Just please be patient, hang in there, never quit. We'll work through this. It'll get done. IOHK is working really hard to get things done and on getting this fixed. It just takes time. So that's the main thing on Daedalus that I think we needed to hit on there.
Yes.
If you have any other problems with Daedalus, please let us know in the chat. Like the main things were percent counting backwards. So Philippe, did you want me to touch on percent counting backwards?
Yes. Please touch on that.
So what's happening when it's counting backwards? Imagine you have the block height as blocks are building and your Daedalus wallet has stalled. It's not your fault. It's just the Jormungandr and Daedalus. Something needs fixed. So it stalls at a block height, but the blockchain continues to grow. So your block height relative to the blockchain is a percent lower. So as the blockchain continues to run away and your node is stalled, your percent will go backwards. That's why you have the percent going backwards problem. It's stalled. And then relative to the blockchain, it is a percent going backwards. It just looks funny to people because you go, what is this thing doing? It's counting backwards. Yeah, it's because it's stalled. And if it goes to, it's stalled, but it's still connected to the network. Yeah, the local blockchain is stalled. Now, if it's not connecting to the network, you might see it say 70% and it just sits there and doesn't do nothing for like 5 minutes. And then you get the red screen of death or whatever. And that is, it didn't connect to the network, so it doesn't know the state of the blockchain. And it just sits there, it goes, oh, I have 70% relative to what I'm supposed to have. It figures it out somehow, and it just stops. Either way, it's simply not connecting or synchronizing. You can either close it and wait until later, reconnect. Because what's happening, the test net is stalling. And it's forking.
Yeah.
So it's a test net. That's what happens. It's like, you're testing flying an aircraft.
Yes.
It's a test net. So hang in there. It's very frustrating. Sometimes people are afraid to report issues. If you see issues in Daedalus where something totally doesn't make sense or your balance doesn't show up, please report that to the Zendesk. That's the kind of thing you can get tech support from the Zendesk, or you can try the community tech support channel, which has been rather busy. Okay, for Daedalus wallet. Okay. Any other problems? Let me check chat.
I don't think people are.
Yeah. Well, there's 35.
And it says, how do I stake on Yodoi? So this is another issue. Yodoi was supposed to be released 24 hours after the release of the Daedalus incentivized testnet yesterday. And Sebastian just said that they're waiting until 0.8.4 version to release the Yodoi testnet version. And they released 0.8.3 this morning for stake pool operators. So that just goes to show you that there are still some issues with the entire network right now. I wanted to transition over to stake pool operators because I'm getting a lot of questions about performance, about different colors within Daedalus. And, Rick has been working tirelessly. We've been working tirelessly. A lot of people have been working tirelessly, and it's kind of random right now. There are a lot of issues. There are a lot of issues that cannot be diagnosed because there's no set manual for any particular person. Rick is running a beast server. I'm running a beast server, and it's not the server that's going down. It's not the server that's going down. It's the entire network that's going down. Like Rick was saying, it's Jormungandr that's going down.
Failing, yeah. So, and it's important that we're honest with ourselves about that and say, yep, Jormungandr's broke. Because here's what I went through for the last 3 months. And if there's any stake pool operators watching, they know exactly what I'm talking about. So 0.5x variants of Jormungandr came out in like late September. And 050, 051, 052, when the early releases come out, 050, 05152, there's lots of bugs. They worked them out. It took a couple of weeks. It got better. And then we're good, right? Then they add a new feature, 060, whatever the feature was. I don't remember. They add, or not, maybe not a feature, but a technology of some type. 060 comes out and it's unstable. And then 061, 2, 3, and it starts to stabilize as they fix the bugs due to the adding of this a newer technology or newer capability inside there. Same thing, 070. And now we're in 080. Guess what? Same thing. So it's going to take a couple of weeks. It's going to be a couple of weeks. Hang in there. Don't quit. But be patient. And then, if you get frustrated, just walk away from it. It'll still be there when you come back. But it is frustrating. And that's why Philippe and I decided, we talked a little bit earlier and said, let's get some support out there.
Yeah, definitely.
Because people seem frustrated, and it's understandable. Totally understandable.
And people are delegating to the pools. Our pools, we are trying to provide a level of service, but it's not our servers at this point. We've been putting people have been getting no sleep. It's not the servers, it's the code. So we got to wait until they fix it. Like Rick was saying, the network has forked. There's two different chains that are running. These things need to be merged again. Everyone needs to get on the same playing field. So as far as block time, performance time, all these metrics, they don't make any sense right now because the network is just, it's in flux. I mean, if you look at it, even IOHK is missing blocks, and it's their network, it's their protocol, and IOHK is missing blocks, just to show you how out of whack some things are. So, these will be fixed, but this is like the testnet to the testnet. So you guys are really early in, and like Rick was saying, it might take a week or two for things to stabilize. It might take even longer. You never know. There are a lot of issues that need to be done. And while the UI looks great when you download Daedalus and it works for you correctly, what's going on behind the scenes is a whole different story. So don't think that your stake pool operator is not working or doing anything like that. Our machines are up and running. It's not, we're not having any internet issues or anything like that. It's just the protocol.
Yeah. And let me kind of help the stake pool operators out here. Those of you that are watching, and you please feel free to chime in. I can see some comments down there. Don't blame yourself. Here's what people tend to do. I've noticed this since 1988, and I saw it in the 1990s, and it still happens today, just the way people are. When people have a problem, they react differently, and they say, oh, there's something wrong with this thing. I'm either going to hide it, or I'm going to blame myself, or I'm going to walk away, or I'm going to ignore it. But the best thing for you to do is to report it. So if you see your Jormungandr node crashing, report it, let them know in the chat, or talk with someone, see if you can figure out what is this. If writing a script that reboots your node, that's not a fix. It's not fixed. Writing a script that reboots your node will get the block signed, but it's a Band-Aid. It's like putting duct tape on a sucking chest wound. Okay. Right now we have a chest wound.
Yeah.
Putting duct tape is not going to help it. Okay. You can write a script to restart your node. You can change parameters inside your node startup scripts. You can do all these crazy things to kind of like squeeze a little life out of it. But just be alert. You're not alone. All the pool operators are going through the same thing. Everybody's nodes are crashing. There's a couple different things happening. Either they crash. I got 2 nodes running. I'll give you 2 examples. Okay. And don't blame the hardware. It's not the hardware. Servers have been proven. Rock Pis have been proven. They're all proven out. Those are good. Operating systems are good. Windows, Linux, and Mac are good. So I got a Mac and a Linux server running. On the Mac, it's rebooting. It's not the Mac. That Mac has run for months. I had live streams running for a week. It's not a Mac problem. It's not the hardware problem. It's a Jormungandr problem. It is a Jormungandr problem. Okay. That's why the node keeps rebooting. But people, what they tend to do is they blame themselves. Or they say, oh, I configured something wrong. Or what did I do? And I don't want to tell anyone because I don't want to look stupid. And I don't want people, I don't want to lose my delegates, right? That's what people are worried about. People will go quiet because they'll be like, oh, I don't want to lose the people delegating to me. Well, next epoch, you're going to lose them because it's going to go red. The problem is everybody else you want to go to, those wallets that were red last epoch, they'll be green next epoch, and yours is going to be red. You can swap.
Yes.
It's a good
Yes.
swap.
Yes. And
It's okay. It's still early in the
yeah.
test net. The people, and it's only 0.8 ADA to redelegate.
Yeah.
That's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
So don't worry about the delegates. They might go away. They'll come back. They'll realize people figure it out over time. The most important thing is report the problems. Now, if you have a problem with Jormungandr, you guys know I'm not preaching to the choir for some of you. If you have a problem with Jormungandr, make a GitHub entry. If you get a log, if it goes critical or error or warn, capture that log, put it in GitHub. One of you out there has the missing piece of the puzzle that's going to expose the bug, and then the engineers will be able to solve it. And they'll go, that's the missing piece we're looking for, and then they'll understand how to solve the problem.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and so I was giving the two examples. So in a Mac, the Mac likes to stay at the tip. It's not a Mac thing. It's the Jormungandr thing. The Jormungandr that runs on Mac, it'll stay at the latest block height and sometimes ahead of some of the popular sites. It'll be ahead. I'll be like, oh, it's a block ahead. Okay. But then 5 minutes later, it crashes, and it crashes every 5 or 10 minutes. It restarts. I had to put a restart script. So it'll crash and come down, it'll come right back up, synchronize, and it's good. So the Mac likes to stay synchronized, but it crashes. The Linux version, it gets behind. It'll get like 350, 400 blocks behind, and the max tolerance is 200 blocks behind. It gets 300, 400 blocks behind, but it keeps running. It doesn't crash, but it doesn't stay at the tip. It doesn't stay at the right block height. So it's not the Linux problem. It's the Jormungandr problem. It just, whatever is wrong manifests itself slightly different depending on the different servers. Two exact same settings, the same parameters on both servers, two entirely different indications. Like, when you get the flu, right? Sometimes when you get the flu, you get a fever and you get a tummy ache. Sometimes you get the flu, the other stuff.
Yeah.
It's the same flu.
Yeah,
it just looks different depending on how it hit you.
Yes.
Same thing with Mac OS. So don't blame yourself. Don't blame your hardware. Don't blame your operating system. Those have all been proven. It's a Jormungandr problem. What we need you to do is report it. Get it in GitHub and say, look, this is the problem that I'm seeing here. Now, if you're having problems setting up the node, that would be like a Zendesk thing. But if it's broken, get those reports in, because it ain't gonna get fixed unless you report. It might already be reported. Oh, someone already reported that. Okay, well, add to it. And they said, okay, my node, the block height stopped climbing, and this is the indications I'm seeing. Cool. But add to it. And the more you add to it, the more they realize, oh, this isn't one person with the problem. This is 70 out of the 371 pools.
Yes.
And they go, oh, this is a common problem because all these people have the same problem, right?
Yes.
But if one guy, I've got entries in there, they just closed them. I'm like, they didn't fix that. They just closed it. Or maybe they thought they fixed it, but they didn't fix it. So if you see a problem, report it and put it in GitHub. And if you already see it listed in GitHub, add to the GitHub. I'm not a GitHub expert. That's probably a good thing, because whatever they're doing ain't working sometimes.
Yeah.
So if you say, oh, wow, that's 70 people out of 300 having the same problem, we might need to fix that. Maybe that's why the blockchain stalled.
Yeah.
The 70 nodes went that way and 200 nodes went that way, and now we got 2 forks or whatever happened. I don't know what happened.
And it's 70 nodes that are communicating. It's not necessarily only 70. It could be even more than that. People just kind of drop it and do something else while the issues are ironing themselves out. As far as, I want to retouch on one of Rick's points about pool performance and green, yellow, red. At this point, they mean nothing. You could be in a red pool or a yellow pool, and then you're like, oh, I'm going to redelegate to another pool. And then the next epoch, that pool has issues, and then the other pool turns green. Right now, you're free to do whatever you want. But right now, stake pool operators are encountering some major issues. Not like threatening the entire ecosystem kind of issues, but bugs. And these bugs
are threatening the entire ecosystem.
Oh, you would say it's threatening the... Yeah.
It's close.
Okay, well, it's close.
It was
close.
bad, man. I was looking at pool tools, and I was looking at the IOHK homepage map, and I was like...
And
I'm looking at my map, and I'm like, oh, God. I turned my map off. It's going to stay off until this gets better.
We we have people in the stake pool operator group. Like, if you amalgamate the years of experience, it's hundreds of years of experience. If you add everyone's, like, these are certified professionals. Some of them are
They're
certified
pros,
professionals.
man.
They're pros, and they can't figure. I mean, they're fixing things for Fortune 500 companies and companies that require top-notch security in order to get their platform running, and they can't figure out how to simply put up a node. It's not a. I'm not saying it should be the simplest thing in the world, but it shouldn't be the hardest thing in the world either. I mean, we're talking about banking the unbanked and having people in sub-Saharan Africa and remote areas in Africa running a node. You know, how is that possible when we can't even get it on our state-of-the-art, servers that cost lots of money and are extremely powerful, and we have zero issues with internet connectivity and zero issues with latency and all these other issues? So these
first world problems.
It's first world problems.
First world problems, man.
Yes, exactly. But it shows it's not ready yet.
It's not ready. Yeah, it was pretty tough call releasing it this week, I would say.
Yes, I agree with Rick.
I was skeptical before it went out. And I was like, ooh, because we had to go like 0, 6, 1, 2, 3, and then it started to smooth out, and then 0, 7, 1, 2, 3, and starts. But you can't make an omelet without breaking eggs. So I guess they went 0, 8, 0, 0, 8, 1, 0, 2, boom, and it was out there on the in the world with people connecting with wallets. Daedalus. Yeah, but it's okay. It's just a growing pain. The key is we wanted to make sure we're here to support you, and we didn't want to just do a bitch session. People like bitch. Oh, I'm sorry, I just swore on your channel.
No, it's okay. It's good. It's good. Rick, you're good.
All right. People, misery loves company. No, so we know people get frustrated. We're trying our best. We want to let you know you're not alone.
Yeah.
We're here to help. We know that a lot of other pool operators are seeing the same things we're seeing. We totally get it. Just make sure you report it. And if you feel bad, talk to someone. It always makes you feel better.
It does. Rick makes me feel better, by the way.
Sometimes. So if I do something stupid, I got called Philippe. Philippe, I just do something stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
keep calm and stay on. Just a quick reminder to anyone that's joining the podcast now. It has nothing to do with your testnet data is safe, your rewards wallet is safe. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with actually delegating the stake pools. That system is just broken, and it needs to be fixed. It's not looking great right now as far as they have a lot of changes that they need to do and a lot of bugs that they need to report and move forward. This is sometimes what happens when you expedite product releases before they've been thoroughly. I mean, these things have gone through thorough review over these past few months. I have to give it to that. But we weren't ready to go live yet for the testnet. I don't think so. But we had to get something out before the year end. But sometimes, this is why it's a testnet. This is why things are going to change on our way to the mainnet. And, we're just we're brute forcing our way forward and making sure that, all our servers are consistently on. It's not like anyone's turning them off. And we're doing the right things. It's just, it's kind of random at this point. Even IOHK is missing slots. So that just goes to show you what's going on.
Yeah. Yep. It's not you. Don't blame yourself.
No, don't blame yourself.
Let's get a few questions in chat. I'll take one there. I saw one from Martin.
We have 92 people watching.
Martin Van Dosberg. So Martin says, Rick, can you share any feedback on the pivot away from the original saturation principle to the 1% saturation limit? Yes, Martin, good question. The original idea of saturation was going to be based on K equals 1,000 for 1,000 pools. Right now, a good number, K equals 100 for 100 pools. That's why I say K. So with 100 pools, that means saturation is at 1%. There's 31 billion ADA capable of being on the test net. 31 billion divided by 100. Am I doing this right? Yeah. 31 billion divided by 100 gives you 311 million. So that's the saturation point. So the saturation point is correct. It did not deviate. It's still the same as the original Ouroboros papers. And so we're good. It's good. K was set to 100. We need 100 pools. I think that actually worked out pretty good. I was like, ooh, K equals 100. That's going to be bad. But what happened is it causes a higher saturation number, right? Which means that if you're doing well, you can take on more. But this is a test net, and those parameters have to be tested. If the K number is not set correctly, it could cause the network to behave in an uninspected manner. So these different parameters have to be tested so that we know what the expected manner is. Like right now, I'm not really bothered about the test net being all screwed up because that's what I've seen for the last 3 months. So I'm not bothered. I'm used to it, right? You build up a tolerance. It's just fair enough. And it starts off a little wonky and then they iron it out. Then something changes, it goes wonky, and then they iron it out. And that's just how it goes. It'll get ironed out. It'll be fine. My guess is I'd say 2 weeks before you start to get happy.
2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it about 2 weeks because that's what I've seen between. So we went from 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 from September, the end of September to the middle of December. How many months is that? 3 months.
Yeah.
4 revisions. 3 weeks. Maybe 2. But you got to remember it's the holidays coming up, so maybe 3.
Yeah.
It's going to be painful about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
At least.
Everyone, 3 weeks. I would take Rick's word for it. I mean, here at SCAR, we've been working diligently. Like, we haven't been getting a lot of sleep at all. And if we're doing that, Rick is working 2 to 3 times as hard on his pool. So when I tell you that there's a master in the game for stake pools, it's Rick. You know, he tries to downplay his skills a lot, but the amount of time that he's put in, trust me, he knows what he's talking about. And if he says that the testnet was broken for the past 3 months and it's broken now, it's broken.
Various stages of broken, like
Yes.
lightly broken or not, really broken or kind of broken, but sometimes tolerable. I've never seen it working really good except for 070. I've seen 070. I don't know what that was magic. 7 must be a lucky number.
So we need to start a hashtag, bring 0.7.0 back.
Yeah, but it doesn't have all the capabilities though. It doesn't have all the capability. I've seen people send me messages go 070. I've had it running for 12 days. A guy sent me the number. It was like 1,500,000 seconds. It was seconds in the 7 digits, whatever that is. It was well over 1 million seconds. It was running nonstop.
Okay.
Working, making blocks or whatever it was doing. Whatever it is.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, but it happened. So it'll happen again. Mm-hmm. It'll happen again. It will. Eventually, it'll take time. At least 3 weeks. That's my guess.
At least 3 weeks.
Yeah. But it'll take, you just be patient. It'll get there. It'll be all right.
So by sometime in January, we should be expected to hit more of an equilibrium where most, if not all, things are working appropriately. And at least there's not mission critical bugs, because that's what needs to be fixed. And I consider a mission critical people delegating to stake pools that are operational and things are just not happening, or stake pools are just completely missing blocks, or there's 2 leaders in one block, or even IOHK is missing a slot or something like that. Or, I mean, as you can see, they released it last night, 0.8.2 in the morning. Like literally we woke up in the morning in the stake pool Telegram group. They already have 0.8.3 ready. And there's no tweet about it. I mean, before it was announced in this private ambassador channel. There's no tweet about it. All stake pool operators have to go run and start running 0.8.3, but everyone is down for a small fraction of time while they're upgrading to the 0.8.3. It could be 30 seconds. It could be 45 seconds. I mean, the public doesn't know this, but they have to upgrade to the next version, and there was no...
they didn't tell anyone. They started upgrading the servers and didn't tell anyone.
They didn't. 12 hours...
Why won't my node bootstrap?
Yeah, it's 12 hours later. 12 hours later after a product release.
But for people who've been doing it for a while, like, oh yeah, I'm used to this. They must be doing it. People started saying in the chat. They're like, oh, they must be doing a rolling update or something like that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, probably. And then all of a sudden 0.8.3 came out. You know, it's funny. I'll tell you something funny. Philippe, when he texted me this morning, is when you upgraded to 0.8.3, he said, hey, Rick, we upgraded to 0.8.3. I said, oh, good. You won't have to experience the old problems anymore. You get to experience the new ones.
Yeah.
That's how I imagine. That's how we
Yeah.
cheer each other up.
Yeah,
Hey, did you see that? Yeah.
no,
Yeah,
yeah.
083's out. Okay. We get to see new problems now. Yay.
But this is the
And it
beauty.
was true.
This is true. Yeah,
It
I
was
mean,
true.
immediately. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
installed it, booted up, and
yeah,
went critical, critical. I'm like,
yeah,
wow, purple. I got a
yeah.
purple critical on that one. That was really cool.
Yeah.
You get orange warns and you get red error, ARRO, and you get purple criticals.
Yeah.
I don't get them on the Linux box, but again, it's not. I get green infos on Linux, but the Linux doesn't stay with the blockchain. It kind of wanders off on its own.
Yeah, yeah.
Different problems. What else are the other questions in here? Sorry, we went off on a tangent,
Yeah,
but
we
we
did go on
want
a
to get you guys laughing. We want to make you
Yeah,
laugh.
yes.
And we
So,
want to make sure you can laugh, and never quit.
yes,
We're
yes,
trying to support you.
yes.
And
Be
if,
easy.
yeah.
That's the beauty
And if
about
my pool
delegating.
goes to crap, I will tell him, like, dude, I'll put my account because, dude, oh my gosh, my server melted. My house caught on fire. Hurry up and delegate to somebody else. It only costs 0.8 ADA. Come back
Yeah.
later whenever it's working again.
Yeah. And that's fine. It only 0.8 ADA. So go for it. Go for it.
Did you see my video I did on how to undelegate?
Rick, I have not watched that yet.
All right. So I guess who I used as an example for how to undelegate your wallet.
Tezos?
Yep. I was like making a video. So after everybody started texting me on Telegram, a lot of people texted. I said, "Oh my gosh, I need to make a video. If I make a video, then I can reach out to more people, and they can. It'll be real quick. It's less than 2 minutes." So making a video, I'm like, "Okay, here's how to delegate." Da, 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 da. And I was like, "Dang, I want to do undelegate, but I can't. I don't want to bust somebody up." And I was like, "Oh no, I know who to bust up. I got you. I got you."
Tezos will be the brunt of all our stake pool operator jokes.
The bakers, yeah,
Yeah.
So you gonna watch that video?
Yeah.
How to undelegate? There you go. We can't get in trouble for this.
No,
It's YouTube, man.
You know, it's YouTube.
It's crypto.
No, I mean, yeah.
It's lawless.
It's
Lawless. Lawlessness reigns, man. Oh, this is your. I'm sorry.
No, Rick. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Rick, I'm just reading some comments about Yoroi. So even Yoroi is having setbacks because they're waiting for 0.8.4. So they were supposed to release it 24 hours after 0.8.2. And now they're waiting for 0.8.4, which probably won't come, I mean, until at least tomorrow. Or maybe the next. Or tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm thinking tomorrow morning. They've been working so hard. They really are. We're not beating up on IOHK. They're working so hard. We just got to call it like it is. Hey, it's a mess. Have fun with it. But they're not releasing Yoroi. I read the tweet from Emergo's Twitter. Very well explained. 084, the Yoroi is ready to go. Yoroi's ready. But they don't want to release Yoroi and have people have a bad experience with Yoroi. And the way I imagine it, I'm thinking, if I was a Japanese person living in Japan, I would be like, yeah, I want to use Yoroi because it's really cool. It's got the shield on there. Yoroi, it's awesome. And Japanese got big bags, and you don't want to release Yoroi with all these people with big bags, and they go in there to log in. It doesn't work. Yeah. Now, the Yoroi will work, but if they try to connect to Jormungandr, they try to connect to my Jormungandr with their Yoroi, it's not going to work.
No.
Well, it might work for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Good luck with that, right? Look at it's gone now.
It's going to be a flip of the coin, Rick.
Yeah. So you don't want Yoroi to take the heat. Daedalus is taking heat. Daedalus is taking the butt whooping for the last year, 2 years, 2.5 years.
There are some issues.
Yoroi take the heat, man.
So they're waiting, and yeah. Hutan says it's a mess and confusing. Yeah, just give it time. Just give it time. If you delegate it to a pool, maybe just go take a nap for the next week or so, and then come back, or the next 3 weeks. Or you can just wait for a little bit of time before you delegate. Or you can just your delegation is not at risk. So just pick a pool and just stick with it, and check back in a few weeks, because this is the beauty about delegating. You can go spend time with your family. You can go watch some Saturday night football, some Sunday night football, some Monday night football, and you let us worry about the operator issues and everything like that. We're worried about that. You don't have to worry about that. You're gonna get your rewards eventually, and it's just a matter of time before all the nodes or most of the nodes are responding correctly. but we'll just have to wait until then.
Yeah. Let me think. I'm trying to think if there's any other questions people had. One of them is, okay, when do you start getting rewards? All right. So if I delegate to your pool this epoch, I don't get rewards this epoch. Okay. What are we on? We're on 4.
Yeah.
So if I delegate right now on epoch 4, I'm not going to get rewards. Epoch 5 has to kick in. Then epoch 5 takes place, which is tomorrow. It starts midday tomorrow, mid-afternoon tomorrow. Then at the end of epoch 5 and the beginning of epoch 6. So epoch 4, and I delegate to your pool, then time passes. Epoch 5 passes. Then I get my rewards at the end of 5 at the beginning of 6. Then I will see the rewards in my wallet. So be alert to that. Now, that was General Zod. Thanks, General Zod, for also talking through that with me. I learned from other people as we talk through this stuff. And so, and that's how the protocol works. That's how it's supposed to work. Also, if you're a new pool operator and you bring your pool up online, you get it registered on the Cardano Foundation thing so that it shows up into Daedalus, and you got a fully operational pool. Just be alert. It's okay. The first epoch your pool is exposed, it's going to be red because it created 0 blocks in that epoch. So it launched. So if you create a pool right now in epoch 4 and epoch 5 kicks in tomorrow, you're going to be red because you created 0 blocks, and 0 for 0 is 0%.
Yes.
Okay. Someone's got to take it. Someone's just got to, you got to take the fall. You got to do your time in the trenches. And so,
Yeah.
but then what'll happen is if you make 1 block and you made 1 for 1, that's 100%, but it's not exactly just that part, right? So if you did 1 for 1, okay, good job. You did 100% for that 1 block. But how much are you pledging, and how much stake is assigned, and how many blocks, and this, that, and all those other crazy math kicks in. And then it turns green. So far, what I've noticed between the green and the red, it's generally pretty fair. Just be alert that each epoch, right, is as soon as your pool joins, it's going to be red. That first epoch, it's visible.
Yeah.
Unless you got 311 million ADA, you can make yourself turn green real quick. You're probably not going to care.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I'm wondering though, those the 311 million pools. Yes, yeah, the 311 million ADA pools, yeah, with
Saturation,
the 100%. Yeah, no, saturation point is 311 million, but like when they take the 100% rewards, are they, like when we go to mainnet, will they be redelegating it to a smaller wallet or creating subsidiary wallets and restaking that? I wonder what the strategy was going to be for those pools that are almost at saturation point and are just trying to kind of remove ADA from pushing it over, especially their delegated rewards. Maybe that's a question for mainnet.
Yeah. Tell me next week.
Yeah, okay.
Tell me what your plan is. Yeah. So a few people asked, no saturation point. Yes, there is a saturation point, 311 million, because K equals 100 pools. I think that's going to change. I bet that's going to change. We're at 371 pools. I'd imagine if we hit 400-ish, they might want to crank that number up. They might crank it up to 200. I don't know. Or they might leave it alone and find out what happens. You got to find out both, right? You got to find out what happens when you do something wrong and what happens when you get it right.
This is the time to break it. Now.
Yeah, now's the time to break it. That's what we've been doing for like 3 months. We got a question from Satoshi Katamoto. When mainnet? Q2-ish. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd say Q2. Q2, Q3.
Earliest and beginning of March, earliest the beginning. Yeah, earliest the beginning of March. Probably Q2, though.
Okay.
End of March, early May. March, April.
I would say like May, June-ish, but that may be
that's a good
little
spread.
Bit too far.
March through June.
Yeah, I think that should be accurate.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. What's your guess on the price? Oh, somewhere between 1 and 100.
100. One.
So probably somewhere between there.
And I want to send my condolences to everyone because of the crypto markets are tanking right now.
Oh,
So
God.
yeah, it's brutal. So
So yeah, that may be a good reason to be on the air. It's the market's wrecked. Shelly launch was good. It was okay. Notice it. Oh, that's something else I wanted to point out. Shelly launch was good. Notice the first 12 to 24 hours, it was fine. It takes time for things to process and things to get chugging along and wallets connecting. I seen like 3,000 connections on my node, not all at the same time, but retained. And so that's going to happen again. So it launched and it's broken and they're going to fix it. Then they're going to add a new feature and it will be broken again. And then they're going to fix it again. And then there's going to be more wallets and they'll raise the K number and it will break something and they'll fix it again. So that's why when Philippe and I say, late Q1, more likely Q2, is because we're going to have to break all those things, find out how to fix them, then figure out how people respond, because we're being tested right now. The humans, they got to find out how the humans react. That takes a long time.
it will take a long time.
It does, because right now, if I went in and saw pool, someone said ZZZ has 400 million. All right, so if I was delegating to pool ZZZ 400 million and it's green, I'd be like, oh my gosh, it's oversaturation. I'm going to pick something lower, right? It's going to take time for people to figure out their strategy, right? To figure out, when do I switch from an orange to a green, or when do I switch from something to something, and why? Because that's just something we got to figure out,
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll take
Yeah.
time to figure that out and how to keep the parameters working right. That way, when it goes mainnet, it'll be ready for mainnet.
Yeah. Accurate description.
Yeah. All right.
Rick? Yeah, this is 112 people in this chat. Well, this is incredible. 4:45 p.m. on is that today? Is it Tuesday?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so this was just our quick session. I guess we can wrap this up. But this was just a quick session. Rick and I just thought that we would send a message out to stake pool operators and delegators alike. Both are having issues. Jormungandr has some bugs right now. And it's not your stake pool operator. It's not your stake pool. The servers are up. The network is buggy. And these things are going to take some time. It might take a couple of weeks before things stabilize. None of the information I see on Daedalus is accurate right now because it doesn't give a whole encompassing picture of actually what's going on. I'd like to remind everyone that you should delegate to DIGI. This is Rick's stake pool, so show Rick's stake pool some love, and of course delegate to SCAR as well. DIGI and SCAR.
Yeah.
We're coming for HK spots. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
There were a few other things I just saw in chat that reminded me of stuff, and people noticed. Nelson came in. Hey, Nelson, he said, is not fine. Was able to connect via Daedalus wallet. Now I'm not able to connect. Yeah, that's what we talked about at the beginning of the program, in the middle of the program. It's exactly the case. No, you see how many other people are having that same problem.
Yeah.
They can connect, then they can't connect. Let it sit. It'll sort itself out. Wait, you just be patient. They'll get it fixed. But it's broken. It's not you. It's not your computer. Yeah. Don't go buy a new laptop because your Daedalus doesn't work.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
No.
Unless you need an excuse to buy a new laptop.
Yeah.
But it's not your laptop. It's the Daedalus. So you get a new laptop, it'll still be broken until they fix it. Okay.
Exactly.
Or the Jormungandr. If the Jormungandr is broken, the Daedalus won't work. Yep. And there was what else? One other piece, and I'll stop. I know you're ready for. We're just going to be brief. We just want to make sure people know other people in the same boat. Here's another thing. So we're on Testnet, right? And we're in Epoch 4. And some people don't like me calling it Epoch. They want me to call it Epic. I like both words. Either one's fine with me. So now let's say we got to the end of Epic 4 and something just went totally wrong. Like it forked and there's no way to recover from the fork. Like 220 nodes went in that direction and 205 nodes went in a different direction, and they're all building their own blockchains. If something like that happens, they might have to roll back to a point. I don't know this because someone told me. I'm just being hypothetical. Like, this is what might have to happen, is they say, oh, so a fork occurred in the middle of epic something, let's say 4, for example, and we couldn't get all the nodes back on the same thing before they fix the software, because they would have to fix the software to make it stop forking, and they would have to roll it back. So let's say it's in the middle of epic 4. Where are we at? We're in epic 4, right? And then and I delegate to pool X. So I delegate to pool X in the middle of epic 4, and they roll it back. The delegation is going to disappear, and I'm not going to get the rewards. You're going to have to redelegate.
That's true.
It'll disappear. It'll vaporize from the blockchain.
Because it will take that last save point, and if you weren't actually delegated.
Yeah, if so, just be alert to that. If they have to go back, no, I don't know if it'll happen, but it might. Based on what I've seen in the last 3 months, it probably will happen. It's okay. It's okay. And if they roll it back, be alert to that, and be alert to announcements. If they say, oh, during Epic 5, something XYZ, we need to roll it back, we need to start over, then, the delegations just go, and the rewards will vaporize because that starts over.
Yeah. I
don't know if it'll happen, but if you want to bet against me, bet against me, are you?
Rick, what happened?
I'll always bet 100 ADA per only one person, not more than one, just one. 100 ADA.
Rick, I know you're about I know you're probably going to be correct, so I'm not going to take that bet.
The only person beat me in a bet so far was Kyle O.
Okay.
Yeah, we called a release. I called it on a Thursday. He called on a Tuesday. Went on a Tuesday. He won. I owe him 100 ADA.
Yeah, okay. One last question from Nelson. When a new version of Jormungandr comes out, how will you intend to do the upgrade? Will your pool be down temporarily? Perfect. Yes, pools are all down temporarily once they upgrade. So it's just for a short period of time. 0.8.2 was released last night. And this morning we woke up with no notice, and 0.8.3 was sitting there waiting for stake pool operators to install. So both Rick and I did it. I mean, I was offline for 30 seconds or 30 to 45 seconds while we upgraded. And that's it. I mean, the pools have to go down for a little bit in order for you to download the upgrade. It's just it's the nature of the beast. So yeah, you got to do it.
Merrick just beat me up on Telegram. Thanks, Merrick. Merrick's brilliant. He said something about it's not true. IOHK said pool operators do not have to upgrade to 0.8.3. I don't know what I said there. I might have a misunderstanding, but he was willing to take me up on the bet.
Okay.
You take me up on a bet. All right. 100 ADA.
Yeah, I don't know.
100 ADA that we're going to have to roll something back, and the delegations are going to fall apart. The code's going to fork. 100 ADA. I got 100 ADA that says that will happen.
Rick, can you give us
Merrick's
a time?
An awesome guy.
Can you give us a timeline of when do you think this catastrophic rollback will happen?
By the end of December.
Wow.
What's today? 17th?
Yeah.
Days. Yeah.
By the end of December.
That. It's a deal. All right, yeah. Merrick, you gave me right on.
Yeah. So prepare for that. So.
Merrick was commenting on when we were doing a video. All right, I'll stay off Telegram. All right, it's a bet, Merrick.
Rick, let's exit.
Yes, sir.
I got some other stuff to do, and I appreciate Rick for jumping on. I really do. And just everyone, keep calm and stay calm. Have a wonderful night, and Yoroi probably won't come out today. Just letting you know. Just most likely it won't come out today. Maybe tomorrow. So, all right, everyone. Have a great day. Have a great evening, and we'll talk to you soon. We shot a great episode of the Cardano Effect podcast today, by the way.
Oh, yeah, with Becky.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it was great. Oh, man. Great. Yeah.
So
you guys are going to like that.
All right. All right. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Philippe.